What does success look like to you? For many of us, it looks like this. Driving fancy cars, being able to shop wherever we want and as much as we want. In short, getting what we want and getting what we deserve in order to fill our lives with the things that make us happy. And if we're honest about it, we do it to show off to everyone else too. So success then isn't something we just keep to ourselves, but something that others notice about us and something we want them to notice. After all, what's the point of driving amazing cars or having the right accessories and name brand clothing if no one notices? We know that no car or clothes or award or the number of friends on our Facebook page will ever really satisfy us. We will always want more, and there will always be someone else out there who has more than us. So the race for more and more continues, but it has to be said that many of the people who have had the most have also felt the most empty. A writer named Henry Nouwen was once asked to talk about the meaning of life. He said that a huge part of life is about answering one simple question: who am I? And if I take away all the things in my life, the cars, the friends, the clothes, the awards that tell the world who I am I underneath it all? What we want and the things we desire say a lot about us, but it says even more about life's meaning. We seem to realize that meaning won't really come in the next pair of jeans or a team trophy. So what is really your answer? What is the meaning of life? All right, well, we're back again with Stuart McAllister. Today we've been talking about materialism, or pursuing items or experiences, goals, all that sort of thing. Admittedly, one of the enjoyments of having such things is we like to be able to flaunt them. We like to show other people we have them. Why do you think that is?
A lot of studies have been done over the years about the meaning, the symbolism of stuff, if you like, the symbolism of cars, of clothes, and this is not just recently, but in history. For many people, a thing is more than just an artifact. It's actually a result of longings and desires, both by the creator and by the person who owns it. Why do I buy something? Well, I buy it because I want it. Why do I want it? Because I desire it. Why do I desire it? Because I think it will give me something. It may give me satisfaction, it may give me happiness, it may give me prestige. But as I move up the scale of certain products, if you like, or productions, these things give me identity. So I'm getting access to a club, I'm getting access to recognition. If I'm in high school, and maybe by buying certain clothes from one store, that gets me to the in crowd. By not buying clothes, I'm on the outside. So it's all about belonging and identity. And for many people, they don't think of this, that things are never things just in themselves. They say things about me. They say things about what I value, what I want, and also about a search, perhaps, that I might not even be aware of, that I'm looking for something in the wrong place and maybe in the wrong way and not finding it.
We've talked about the desire to pursue these things, and when we achieve a goal or we buy the thing we wanted, maybe it provides a very momentary satisfaction, but before long there's something else coming over the horizon that we want. Why does that happen so easily?
Well, see, all satisfaction in this world seems to be short term. In other words, you go for a good meal, you dream about going out for, say, an Indian meal or for McDonald's or whatever it is you like, and you have it, but then afterwards or within the next day, you want something else. Same with you buy a product, you buy a CD and you listen to the music, and it's cool for a while, but it gets old and you want something new. You read a book, you buy a car. All these satisfactions seem to tell us that there's something temporal about these things. It's as if I have infinite longings, but finite capacities. So in other words, my hungers, my thirst reach far, far beyond my capacity to fulfill them. And no matter how much stuff, how many experiences, whatever kind of relationships I keep multiplying, they bring short-term satisfaction. But then what do I do after a while? I start burrowing down on the issue that I'm unsatisfied. I'm not happy. I want something else. I want to trade the car in. I want to trade in the wife. I want to trade in the girlfriend. I want to trade in the toys. And so this restlessness, the part of human existence, is a very profound issue. So what are we? That's the question, isn't it?
We have those longings. You've mentioned what we're longing for. What does the fact that we have longings to begin with say about us?
If I am in a part of the evolutionary process and I come from nothing, exist for a little while and then disappear into nothing, then it would seem that my longings, my desires, are a part of maladaptation in the evolutionary process. Or perhaps, if the Bible is true, if I am created in the image of God, by God, and for God, then there's a God-like hole in my soul that only God or something of that nature, transcendence, can fill. This immortality project, you see that in movies today, hungering for transcendence, hungering for satisfaction. So either in the immediacy or in the ultimate, there's a mismatch between life and longing. And I think that's one of the great senses. So what are we? I think that points to the fact that there's an eternal aspect to us as creatures, and we need to discover what that means.
We treasure these achievements, emotions, material items, whatever it is. What did Jesus have to say about the things we treasure in life and what that means and where we find meaning?
Well, Jesus was very, very clear on the issue that where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. That's in Matthew chapter 6, 19 through 21. And the problem for human beings often is that our life is defined by what we love. That's why Jesus puts the treasure is what you love. So I can find what I love by looking for my treasure. Growing up in the West, growing up in, well, these days, not just America, but in Malaysia and many parts of the world, wherever it is, we are taught to treasure stuff. We are taught to treasure fun. And so if I can accumulate, if I can have, if I can experience, the problem is those treasures don't satisfy. And so I believe that what Jesus would say to that is that when your love is the supreme and highest good, the greatest treasure in existence, then all the other loves can be ordered from that supreme love. But if you get the first and second things wrong, in other words, you put a secondary love as first, you'll never find satisfaction. So it's not that we're not to have treasures in little things or not to enjoy good cars or good food, or of course we are, we can enjoy all those things, but within a balanced, ordered love in which God, the supreme good, the supreme lover, is the love of our lives.
We're here in a shopping center. The world we're in now is different from the world Jesus came to, at least in terms of the sophistication of these centers and shopping and all that sort of thing. What do you think he would say about the world we're in now?
Jesus would, I'm sure, would walk around here and he would look at human beings and he would see them in their different journeys. Some people come just to shop because they buy things just for purposes. But some people come to shop precisely because they're coming here. It's all about their status, their image, their identity, their happiness. They're looking for short-term satisfactions. I think what Jesus would do is he'd cut through to ask them questions about their existence. Who are you? Whose are you? Why are you here? He would get them thinking about bigger questions of existence, bigger questions of life, and he would challenge them to think more deeply. Jesus speaks to a young man who's called the rich young ruler. He comes, he's obviously someone who's been successful in life, he's got money and privilege and position, and he's in a position to ask questions, which wasn't common necessarily in that day. So he says to the teacher, you know, good teacher, what should I do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus tells, well, here's the quotes several of the 10 Commandments, not all of them. And he says, the young man says, I've done all that, what more? And then Jesus, of course, tells him, go sell all that you have and come give up your possessions, because Jesus recognizes in talking to him, he's just wanting to add on one more thing. You know, I've got the education, I've got money, I've got success, let's just add on the eternal life bit and then I'm covered for eternity. But Jesus said no, because there's a love discrepancy in this man's life. Go sell all that you have, give to the poor and then come follow me. Well, then the guy walks away sad. So Jesus asks hard questions. He doesn't call us to an easy life. It's not like, look, I'm begging you to come into my kingdom, whatever you want, let's renegotiate the deal. He says, go sell it all, forsake it, and follow me. That was for that individual. That's not for everyone necessarily. But when Jesus comes, he asks the hard questions and he says, are you going to love this or are you going to love me? And really that's the choice.
So we can love him or we can love our stuff, essentially. Why does loving him provide the fulfillment that the stuff can't?
If Jesus is God, and if loving him, that's is both an act and an experience. So it's an act in the sense that I surrender to him as a being who is not me. He's out or another. He's the living God. But if then I become his by his Spirit, and God now lives in me, so I have a new life given to me, something begins to happen. And if I have the promise of his kingdom in this world and of the resurrection of the dead, there are dimensions to my existence that both locate me, that deal with some of the hungers in my experience, that offer redemption and hope, forgiveness and healing, and that would bring me ultimately to my eternal home beyond him. So I have coordinates and capacities to address all aspects of existence that I didn't have if I'm just down here buying a car. It's not enough.
Well, Stuart, thanks again for being here.
You're welcome, Nate. Thank you.